And welcome back, folks, to another edition of Steady Dropping Dimes. This is where I get together with my fellas, my brothers, the youngsters that I watch grow up from boys to men in Michigan uniforms. We'll be joined by Daniel Horton shortly from McDonald's All-American. But the man who they just did a profile on his preparation. They want to know, how does he do what he does? So you didn't even know I knew that, did you, Devin?
You be secretly looking for seeing stuff. You don't ever let me know until you try to drop it on me and try to surprise me. That's what you be doing.
Yeah. Hey, man, I be checking for my dog, man. Be checking for my guy. I love to see all the success you're experiencing. I love to see you do your thing on the national stage because I feel like, man, when you represent, we represent. That's how I feel when I watch you out there. So, in case you didn't know,
it's our success.
Yeah, Devin is a standout analyst on Fox Sports. And he does it not just during the college football season, but during the UFL season.
Mm-hmm.
See, I like it. But then he still finds time to come here and drop dimes. Now, Droppin Dimes is brought to you, Steady Droppin Dimes is brought to you by our friends at Destination Ann Arbor. Destination Ann Arbor, your tour guides to all things Washtenaw County. Ann Arbor is in the name, but they are the local tour guides to all things Washtenaw County. So, of course, that's Ann Arbor, that's Ypsi, that's Dexter, that's Chelsea. You go all around here, and they will give you the blueprint of where to go, where to stay, events coming to town, places to eat. And we're going to feature some of those things. I'm a big, Metro Park guy. Like, I love Rolling Hills and Ypsi.
Ish.
Come on, man. See, you doubt me. I got to go out there with the GoPro.
I got to see you, man. I got to see you getting ready, man.
So, but we're going to feature Hudson Mills Metro Park today during the I Love Ann Arbor segment. We're also going to tell you about the Ann Arbor Summer Festival. So great outdoor events throughout Washtenaw County. Ann Arbor Summer Festival. Man, I can't remember what number year this is for them, but it'll be another outstanding one. We're going to feature a performer that's going to be on stage Friday, June 14th. An Ypsilanti native that, I was listening to her a little bit today. Her name is Kenyatta Rashawn. I was listening to her a little bit today, kind of an old soul. So she was speaking to me.
It was resonating with you.
It was resonating with me. And I'll make sure she resonates with you. You might want to get out and check her out on the Ann Arbor Summer Festival stage over at Top of the Park. So we're going to keep you up to speed on that. And just as I mentioned his name, my guy, Daniel Horton, has arrived on the stage.
Yes, sir.
Daniel Horton, former McDonald's All-American. Daniel, how you doing today?
Doing good.
Yeah, so dropping these dimes as we always do. This is an interesting time in intercollegiate athletics, fellas, as we jump in. We're going to feature two prominent members of Michigan's defense this year. One established already, well established. Will Johnson's going to be joining us live a little bit later on in the show. Betwixt and between, as they say, the training. Young fella was down in Atlanta training last week. He's somewhere in Southeast Michigan this week training. He did find time to get to Cancun. Y'all ever find time to get to Cancun in between y'all training, man? I don't know if y'all did it big like that.
I've never been to Cancun currently, so that answers that.
Never.
Yeah, these fellas, they're doing it big, but he keeps his time on that grind. And he's going to come in later on in the show to talk about that and talk about his camp. So youngsters who are looking for a camp experience, going to have an outstanding camp next week down at Wayne State. So we'll give you more details on that. But the other young man that we are going to feature, he couldn't come on live, so I recorded the interview with him. But Aamir Hall, Michigan had a really eventful couple of days where they added 4 guys from the portal. They added Wes Walker from Tennessee. He spent the semester at Louisville going through spring ball. Said, this is not for me. Went back in the portal. Now he's on his way to Michigan, a guy who spent 3 years at Georgia Tech, 2 years at Tennessee, and has a COVID year that he's going to be able to spend here in Ann Arbor. So a lot of football, one of the top safeties in the SEC last year. They also went out and added Ricky Johnson from UNLV. I said, Ricky, what was it about Michigan that made you, because he was committed to Washington State, jumped in the portal, committed to Washington State. And I said, what was it about Michigan that got your attention? He said, man, they won the damn national championship.
What kind of question is that?
What kind of question is that? Come on, you got to ask me a better question than that, right? I wanted to get Ricky on here, but he couldn't come on live, so I had to record that one. And then Jaden Mangum. I have already put the request out to my man, Reggie Wins. I put the request out to Jaden. We're going to get Jaden on Droppin Dimes. But the youngster, the young man who I have coming on that I taped the interview with that I'm going to feature here is Aamir Hall, a DMV native from Baltimore. Went to Richmond.
He got an attitude.
Yeah, went to Richmond. Right. And he said, he wasn't heavily recruited out of high school, right? But 6'1", about 190. And Devin, you were talking about his measurables, and talking to some of the people around the program, they compare him favorably to a DMV guy that Michigan just had last year in Josh Wallace. Josh Wallace, the DeMatha Catholic alum who went to UMass. And then you remember Mike McCray. Mike McCray was like saying, man, this dude, I'm telling you. Because Mike is a coach at UMass. He's like, I'm telling you, this dude is going to play at Michigan. He's going to help Michigan. He reminds me with his ball skills and his IQ of David Long. He said he can't run like David Long.
Yeah. But he got more length than David Long, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely have more length than David Long. And we saw what he was able to do, Devin. Well, the folks in the program compare Aamir Hall favorably to Josh Wallace, similar size, but they say he's faster than Josh Wallace. Now, you might say Josh Wallace ran a 4.68 at the pro day. So you're like, okay, what are you really saying here, Sam? But Devin, you went back and checked the profile, and Aamir Hall was running that fast in high school.
Yeah, he ran 4.6 electric at the opening, right? So that's not like hand time. My coach kind of padded my stuff, right? It's official time with the electric timer. And if you run 4.6 as a high school kid, I'll take that every day of the week. I would hope he didn't get slower, right? You would hope with strengthening and all those different things, he's gotten faster. And your play speed is always going to be even faster for the real football players like he is than your 40 time, right? And so I wrote a couple notes down just watching his tape. And the first thing that jumps out to me, which is perfect for a Michigan football player, a Michigan defensive back, is the details and his understanding of his defensive structure, right? And what I mean by that is he's where he's supposed to be. His eyes are where it's supposed to be. He has the potential to make these hero-like plays, and he routinely does make them. But it's not like I'm forcing myself into those hero-like plays, which we know gets you in trouble. If you're supposed to be in your deep third, you should be in your deep third. And if the play comes to you, you make the play. But don't be in the flat trying to do stuff. Now we got a corner being caught behind your head because you're supposed to be in the deep third, right? And so with the talent he has, he shows really good discipline in those instances. And then at the catch point, it's so impressive because I talk about wide receivers making combat catches, right? Because you're not just always going to be wide open where guys aren't around you. You're going to have some bang, bang type plays where you got to finish those plays. For him at the catch point, his length, right, and competitive fire at the catch point, it was super impressive of like, hey, okay, maybe you even got me a little bit, and if it seems like you might have caught the ball, but the play's not over, and he finishes through the play. So that's super important because you're going to go up against some big, talented wide receivers who at some times are going to have the advantage, even though he has great length. They're going to have the advantage, and you got to be able to continue to compete on those plays, and he shows the ability to do that, and it was impressive to watch.
Yeah, and I want to be attention to DJ because I want to shout out my man Josh Wise. I'm like, look, he was fast enough. He is plenty football speed fast. The electronic time at the opening for
people poo 4.6 like that's not fast. Like I challenge a bunch of humans out there that's saying, "Oh, he's not that fast," to get out there and run 4.6 electric, right? I mean, and not to mention, like I said, when you're a football player on the field, you're much faster than what you present. Especially when you get into, I know my scheme, I know where I'm supposed to be, I'm understanding what they're trying to do to me. You can play much faster. A great example, Jordan Kovacs. Jordan Kovacs, I don't know what his 40 time was, but I'm sure it wasn't that fast. However, he played fast and played so fast and was so good on our defense back in the day that he was an impact player on the video game, right? The video game, the new video game coming back out.
Right.
He was an impact player on the video game, right? And so the ability to understand scheme and know where you're supposed to be allows you to play faster. And I always talk about at the NFL level, people say, well, are people that much faster? They're fast guys in college, right? At the NFL level, it feels much faster because guys are much smarter, right? And when you're smarter and you know what to do, you can be where you're supposed to be much faster, regardless of what your 40 time is. Now, it helps when you run 4.3 and then you can think fast. Now you're much faster than everybody else, but people talk about 4.6 like it's just guys just walking down the street running 4.6 electric, and that's not the case.
Yeah, and I think the point that you made is about that was a high school time. Josh Wallace ran 4.68 electric at Michigan's Pro Day. Aamir Hall ran 4.67 electric his last year in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So, or heading into his senior year. So, like you said, he should be faster now.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be a burner, but he's going to be fast enough to play. But I hear my man Daniel talking in my ear. What do I hear him saying? I hear him saying, hey, Sam, he's going up a level, man. Just like we were talking about, hey Sam, hey, man, he's these lower level basketball players coming up to, high major. There's an acclimation period. There's an adjustment period. And I hear you saying the same thing about Aamir Hall going from Richmond to Albany to Michigan. That's going to be an adjustment, Daniel. I already know what you're going to say before you say it.
That's a big jump. And I hope he does well, right? I hope all the guys in Michigan do well. My thing with I kind of always temper my expectations, right? Because for every Josh Wallace, there's like 100 other guys that don't work out when they transfer up that we never hear about. So, but I think one thing at Michigan, with Michigan's coaching staff and their development and the scheme that they run, he'll have a chance to be successful, right? He has the athletic tools and the physical tools, as Devin just described. And with everything they do defensively, I think he'll have a chance to be successful. And I think it's a bit of a different transition from football, right? Because I think the number of guys on the field, the way the game is played, you can kind of put guys in different spots and they might not even be in action for that play, right? But for basketball, it's a big, you can't really hide a guy out there on the court when it's five guys and limited space. You can't really hide him. So if he's not ready for that level, it'll get exposed a lot quicker. So I can't really speak to that for football. But I know for basketball, man, you'll get exposed pretty quickly if you're not ready.
Yeah, man.
The one thing that's really helped a guy like Aamir Hall and guys that play that type of position, that cornerback position, is the 7-on-7 circuit now. It's like AAU basketball, right? And so those skills translate, right? Yeah. We're not asking him to get inside and go from taking on 260-pound guards to taking on 315-pound guards, right? He's not inside. Right. We're not asking him to rush the passer, coming from rushing the passer against like smaller tackles and maybe not as athletic to go into. It's receivers everywhere. And I kind of saw that with the UFL of like receiver, defensive back is the heaviest position, and more so even more receiver of like, it's so many of them everywhere. And you can't have them all at the high level, right? So you're going to have talented receivers that play at the lower level and getting a chance to work your skill and technique. Those smaller schools, they always have one maybe little short guy that can't be guarded by anybody at Power 5, but he's just small and he won't get that opportunity at Power 5. Yeah. But going against that every day, right, you tune up. It's iron and sharpening iron. So I think DB and receiver, those are those translatable positions that kind of usually seamlessly, right? You can kind of see it seamlessly translate at the next level. But those linemen and those guys that's mixing it up, that's a little tough.
It's a little different, yeah. I can kind of see that. That's like with 6'2", 6'3" guards in basketball, right? There's a million of them at every level. You can go pull a guy up from different levels.
That can hoop.
Yeah, they can ball.
But no coach wants to pull the trigger because it's like, man, we need size.
Right.
All right. Well, it is time to introduce you to one of the newest Wolverines, Aamir Hall. Got a chance to catch up with him yesterday to intro you to a young man that's going to be in the rotation.
I love these from the DMV, boy. They just got a different attitude. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I'm excited about that. That attitude alone is something that I love.
All right, here he is, my one-on-one with Aamir Hall. And so first things first, Aamir, congratulations on becoming a Wolverine and welcome to the show.
Man, blessed to be here, man. I appreciate that.
So Aamir, this is a bit of a whirlwind, is how I explained it as far as all of the Michigan commitments last week. But for you, your journey from Baltimore to Richmond to Albany to Michigan, that seems like a bit of a whirlwind. So let's go back to the beginning of it, though. Coming up in high school in Baltimore, been producing a lot of talent. You took your talents to Richmond. Take us through your initial recruiting journey.
Just to initially start off, I had a very low recruitment out of high school. I had a couple of military FBS offers and very few FCS offers. So I went with Richmond coming out of high school, and it was a really good experience going there and being able to play very early and solidify myself. So that was really dope.
Yeah. So your years at Richmond, your 3 years at Michigan, right? You were at Richmond. You were 3 years there.
2.5, yes.
2.5 years at Richmond. So, what your takeaways from that? Because you said you went in there and you were able to play early. How quickly did you move into the starting lineup? And what would you say your biggest takeaways from your time in Richmond were?
Honestly, just put your head down and work and take coaching. That's really one of the biggest things. Coming in early, I knew I wanted to play and get on the field early, so that was my biggest thing. We didn't have a season during the 2020 season due to COVID, and a lot of FBS schools played a full season, even though it didn't count. But we didn't get that opportunity, so I just took the time to really hone in on getting in the weight room, working hard, establishing a rapport with my teammates, and then we did a fall camp in about October, November, around that time during 2020. So I was able to really just solidify myself on the roster and compete for a starting role very early, just by my maturity and me coming in with a set goal.
Okay, so you spent 2.5 years at Richmond. You were having some success. What led you to go from Richmond to Albany?
Just an opportunity to really just better myself and put my best foot forward. I knew that if I could come in and really just set a team up, I would be able to really do something very special. And I saw an opportunity at Albany where the coaching staff, they just needed another player that would really fit that piece so that they could be something very special.
So you become an FCS All-American, Aamir. At some point, players know when they're balling out. I mean, was there a point? What was that point in the season for you where you're like, man, I'm playing at a really All-American level? You remember that moment for you when you realized that you're really doing your thing?
Not really. I feel like I always played at a very high level. That's just something that I have to do at corner. It's a very you have to be just a very high functioning, high level player to really be on the field. And I feel like during last season, I'd probably say the UNH game was when I started to really pick up and just really see all right, I'm one of the best players out here on the field, consistently week in and week out.
Mm-hmm. So, you have an opportunity after the season. Your profile is on another level, like I said, All-American, and you're feeling interest as you hit the portal. You're feeling interest from Power 5 schools. So who are all the schools that were, before we get to your decision to visit Michigan, who are all the schools that kind of showing you interest and showing you love once you jumped in the portal?
A lot of schools kind of came and went. I feel like the schools that recruited me most heavily were Marshall, University of Virginia, Syracuse, and Indiana was in there in the mix as well.
So Michigan gets in the mix. So tell me when that went down, your reaction, and how quickly did all that come together?
The process was honestly very fast. Coach Morgan, he reached out to some of my coaches, and I was able to just get a feel for what was going on at Michigan, their interests, and the opportunity that was at stake. And that's something that I took I didn't take that lightly at all. So it was a dope and very just humbling experience. I feel like it was just a call from God, something was really in store for me. So I came up to Ann Arbor, I checked it out, I came up with my family, and it just felt right.
Mm-hmm. So that visit, you said it felt right. What were the things that stood out to you the most during your time here on campus?
Just the people, the relationships that I feel like I will gain here is something that I would take with me for the rest of my life. And one thing about Michigan that I've learned very quickly on my visit was just the blue collar mentality and everything that goes into being a Michigan Wolverine. that's something that I try to pride myself on, and I feel like I can fit in that culture very well.
So, you look at a defense that, I mean, man, they're really, really loaded. Especially up front. Like, this is a championship level defense.
No doubt.
There are a lot of guys who, there might be a surer path to playing time. Everybody's sure path to starting. Whereas here, you're gonna have to come in and compete. Did that factor in at all into the equation for you? That, hey man, some other schools were guaranteeing you a starting spot probably, but in Michigan they said you're gonna have to come in and compete. What about that piece of it joining Michigan?
Competition breeds success, and I feel like for me, this is something that will propel me to the next level, which is my ultimate goal. Where I had to compete every day. I had to compete just to have a roster spot. So that's something that I really took in. Like, it really motivated me to really want to just come in and build on top of other talent that's in this room. Like, we have a really special room, and we're adding more pieces now. So it feels really dope to just be a part of that and obviously come in and compete.
But there is a starting spot that is open for competition, right? We know Will has one lockdown, and now you get a chance to come in and really compete on that other side. So, a couple of things jump out to me. Did you see how Josh Wallace, they talked to you about how Josh Wallace was able to come in the year before and really compete and earn a playing time? Another DMV guy, by the way.
No doubt. I followed his story a little bit last year, just when I originally saw him commit to Michigan. Sorry. And that was a dope experience for him. I feel like he came in, he was able to really make a name for himself and probably put himself in a position to play in the NFL by coming to Michigan. So that's something that I could see myself doing. Obviously, we're two different players, but it was really a good deal for him. And I feel like that's something that I can create for myself.
So let's talk about you. I mean, people are looking over film, trying to find film of you and seeing what your game is like. You know your game better than anyone. So for people who haven't seen you play, break down your game. Give us a scouting report on Aamir Hall.
Very physical, very tenacious, just relentless type of corner. I came into college, I haven't played corner since I came into college. This was my first snaps playing corner. I was a safety in high school. So I'm just used to coming down. Like, I'm a tackler, like, I'm physical. I like to be around the football and make plays on the football. So that's a little bit just about my game. And obviously, like, over time, like, I really learned to hone in on just like some of my mad techniques. And that's something that I take pride in, just like being able to lock down one side of the field.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you get a feel for how the defense is going to play? They've been a defense in the past. It's very coverages a lot. You got Coach Martindale is coming in, going to put his spin on the scheme. Did they talk to you about how they're going to be playing in the secondary? Are they going to be as multiple on the back end? Are they going to play more man? Did they have that kind of conversation with you?
Absolutely. We're going to do a little bit of everything. And it's dope because this is an NFL system that has been passed down. So these are types of like schemes and like fronts that you'll see on Sundays. So that's only preparing everybody to play at that next level and just really get a feel for what that looks like.
Mm-hmm. And, you see a guy like Will Johnson on the other side. I mean, iron sharpens iron, right?
No doubt.
So were you familiar with him? Had you watched any of his game before you showed up on campus?
Absolutely. He one of the top corners in the country. And big shout out to him for everything he has done in his career so far. Like, he'll be one of the top picks in the draft, and I'm just excited to get him better. He'll definitely get me better when I get there. So it's a dope deal to just be able to play with somebody like that. And that really brings like a room together and really takes a room's game to the next level, having somebody like that in your room.
So, Aamir, there's an adjustment period. You go to any new place. You've been through it before, though, right?
Absolutely.
You transfer from Richmond to Albany, and you were able to jump in and grab a starting spot. So what are you doing in preparation to sort of get ready from playbook to the physical side? How do you get yourself ready to really hit the ground running here at Michigan?
Literally that, just preparing in the weight room, outside, playbook, and ultimately just mentally. Like, you have to be mentally prepared to step into what is a hostile environment, the Big Ten, playing at a school that's defending a national championship. That's something that you have to be mentally prepared for.
Now, when do you show up on campus? Like, what are the next steps in your journey to Michigan?
No doubt. Stepping on campus this summer, getting in with the team, it's going to be dope. I'll be up there at the end of this month, so it'll be good to just get started with everybody, meet my teammates, meet my coaches, and just bond. Like, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, the off season. There almost is no off season for you guys playing at this level, right? Guys going in to get work with different trainers and doing things like that. What are you doing on that front before you even get to Michigan to get ready?
No doubt. I have a couple of trainers out here. Courtney Green, he has a gym out here called Sweat Performance. He's been somebody that I've worked with for years. And we have a lot of guys that have played at the FBS level and at the NFL level that it creates a very just like working and like it's a family community. It's a family based like just environment where everybody's pushing each other to just be the best. And then I have another one of my trainers, Antonio Johnson. He's my DB trainer. He's been doing a really good job with me for the past probably 6 years now since like I left high school. So it's a good deal, man.
Yeah, man, you got to shout everybody out. I want to give you the opportunity to do that. You shouted out your trainers, your family. So, you get a chance to go through this experience to go to Michigan. What was it like for them as they went through the visit with you, and what did they think of your decision to commit to Michigan?
Honestly, it was a surreal feeling. This journey has been a little stressful, just trying to find a good fit for me. And my little brother, Aiden, he's autistic. He has cerebral palsy. So we're just trying to find somewhere that can support him and support bringing him up to the games and just having somebody that's like welcome into the community. And I felt the love when I was on campus from everybody. They showed him a lot of love. They showed both of my parents, Tanya and James Hall, love. So it was dope, man. I sat down with Coach Moore and we had a really deep conversation, and that's something that I would probably take with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, man, that's cool. And so you talked about being able to connect with Coach Moore, your position coach. You're gonna be spending, most of your time with Coach Morgan. So, in closing, just your impressions of Coach Morgan. What was that interaction like? And then the same thing with Coach Martindale.
He's a dope guy. Coach Morgan, he's a family guy, and that's something that I pride myself in. So I feel like we'll get along really well. Just being around him, he's a football junkie, and I love watching film. I love just getting better and learning more about the game so I can become better. And he has a lot of knowledge and just a lot of things that he has put me onto already just from me being there for the short amount of time. And he has the whole secondary, so I'll be able to learn about everything on the field as I move in. And that will make me just an overall better football player. So I'm excited to just build my relationship with Coach Morgan a little bit more as we move forward over these next couple months.
I hear that, man. Now, while you were on campus, did you intersect with any of the other guys? I can't remember. It was Jaden here when you were. Were any of the other commits here or the guys who eventually committed on campus while you were still here?
No, sir.
Okay, so you were solo. You got all the attention while you were on campus, man. Well, listen, I'm happy for you, Aamir. Congratulations on this next phase in your journey, and good luck this season. Can't wait to see you do your thing in Maize and Blue.
No doubt. I appreciate it, man. I'm excited for the opportunity. Go Blue.
And that was Aamir Hall. We'll get Daniel back on here shortly. Hey, man, a mature dude, Devin. I mean, that comes screaming through, does it not?
Yeah, you know what I love, and you can see it through the film, right? Is a guy who's a safety at heart, but can play corner. Right, because now you got a different attitude. You got violence, right? When they're trying to run that outside zone, people trying to get the edge. He's not the guy that's afraid to stick his nose in there, right? So a guy that played safety in high school and then transition and learn to play corner at the next level, that means to me that he hasn't even reached his potential, right? And, I'm sure, great coaches at both Richmond and Albany. However, it's a different level of coaching that you're about to experience and get the chance to learn from. And a guy who doesn't have that previous, I've been playing corner my whole life, being able to get to this point and now get this type of coaching he's going to get with the size measurables and all those different things, and then the attitude he has that sky's the limit for a young man like that who seems very humble, and he has a why, and that's so important. We see that with the Blake Corums of the world and the Donovan Edwards and the guys that are the centerpieces of this football team. His why is his little brother. You can hear it, right? And I felt that in my heart, right, of a guy who's playing for something that's much bigger than himself. And when you get guys like that and you put them together, right, that's what football is. Playing for a goal that's much bigger than just yourself. And he already knows all about that. So things going to fit right in.
Well, hey, I'm sure you guys, this work for you as big time athletes. You want to be around people who are where you want to be. Mm-hmm. You want them to iron sharpen iron, as they say. Or if you see somebody whose iron is already sharp, how did you get your iron?
I need to get over there. I need to get over there with that guy.
Yeah, how can I do what you do? So you heard him say, yeah, man, I watched Will Johnson. I watched this film. All these dudes were saying that. Ricky Johnson said, oh, man, yeah, man, that dude, he's the best in the country, right? So they want to see how he's doing what he's doing so they can get to where he gets and they can play off of each other. And pleased to be joined now by the man of the hour, national champion, MVP, defensive
champ
MVP.
Is here.
The national
champ is here.
Well, Mr. Let's get the 4 box in there, Ben. Give me the 4 box. There we go with Mr. Will Johnson. How you doing, Will?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Doing great, man. Glad that you could join us.
Yeah.
No, you got the championship grind on all over the country training, right? Did we catching you after a training session right now?
Yeah, I just got done working out, heading back home.
Hey, so my boys over here, they a little jealous of you. They said, he doing this so big, he get to go to Cancun. He get to get.
You got to separate from.
They get to that paper.
You getting that money?
Nah. Just got to take a little break, get the mind right for a few days, and then get back to work. That's all it is.
Hey, Will, when somebody starts telling you, oh, you can't hide money, you got to tell them, I ain't trying to. I ain't trying to.
They said, you know what taking a break was when we was in school? Going to your roommate house for 3 days.
Yeah. It's different times now, man. It's different times.
Yeah, right? Well, you know what's not different, though, Will? I mean, third year, heading into your third year in college, it'd be very easy to say, you know what, I don't have time to get back to the city, do my camp like I've been doing it. But that's not you. You back another year with the youth camps to tell the folks all about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I've always wanted to do growing up. A part of my just once I got to the point I wanted to be able to get back to the city, get back to the kids that are coming through the same program that I went through, the same program. Connected now, so it's an easy transition for them to come to my camp. Next Thursday, May 30th, at Wayne State, grades 7, so really all school, and then it'll be from 4:30 to 6:30.
Yeah, so again, that's next Thursday.
Next
Thursday.
No, that
you were breaking up there a little bit, so let me repeat what you said there, Will. Next Thursday, May 30th, at Wayne State. This was an outstanding capper to the Sound Mind, Sound Body event that goes on there. We're putting up all the information for the camp here now, which also has sponsorship packages. Will, you got any of those sponsorship packages left for people who are interested in that?
Yeah, I mean, all of them really are. It's all opportunities to give back to my teammates and the foundation. So yeah.
Yeah, so sponsorship packages for the youth camp, again, that Will Johnson's putting on, and so many of your teammates. This is the other thing that really stands out to me. It's a team, and I know everybody, supports teammates, but it's like, you look at your camp, Will, and it was like this last year. It's like the whole crew. It's like the whole team comes out. So can you mention some of the other names of your teammates who are going to be present at the camp?
Yeah, it'll be about like 20 of them. It'll be like Derek, Jay Sean, TJ, Colston, KG, Mason, Alex, Jaden, Samaj, Fred, really, all the guys that I'm close to in the two classes, my class, the class below me. Yeah, really all those guys will be there.
Yeah. So again, the camp next Thursday, May 30th, 4:30 to 6:30. You go ahead. What are the ages again, Will? Ages for participation?
4th through 7th.
Fourth
4th through
through
7th
seventh
grade.
graders.
Yep.
4th through 7th graders. If you have a 4th grader through a 7th grader, get them signed up for this camp. It is an outstanding experience, and seeing it firsthand, the guys are really invested in the kids during their time there, spending time, showing them drills, having fun. That's the other piece of it, man. You want the camp to be fun, and it felt like your camp was fun, Will. We lose it. Well, let's talk a little bit about what you're getting into this summer as far as you talk about working on your game. I sort of mentioned in passing what you were doing to kind of get on your grind and get the work in and get ready for the season. In your own words, man, I mean, is the preparation different? Is it more intense? I mean, compare this offseason to last and what you're doing to get ready for this next campaign.
Yeah, this offseason is way different than last offseason. Last offseason was really, just rehabbing. I had surgery early in the offseason, so I was just rehabbing to get to a point to where I was able to play. So this offseason I'm at a point where I'm healthy and I'm still building back to be as strong and as fast and as moving the best as I can. But yeah, I'm doing a lot of different things like Pilates. I do my DB work, obviously. I do my speed work. I do my PT work. So I got a lot of different things going on, just trying to be as well-rounded as I can be and be the best version of myself, really, in all ways.
Yeah, man. And between that and I want to throw it to Devin and Daniel. You got all that, and then at the same time, it really felt like leaders are supposed to do. It really felt like, man, you took it upon yourself, you and some of the other vets now, because you're a vet, to kind of set a tone. Whether that meant telling other guys this is how we got to compare, or not just doing your workout, but getting other guys to come up and work out with you. It really felt like you were making those moves. At least that's how it seemed from the outside looking in. You tell me if that's the way it was or is.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's really my responsibility with the title and the aura around my name and all those things, just to, get back to my teammates and push them to be the best versions of themselves too. Because I mean, without them being good players, I won't be able to be a good player. So this building, that builds up chemistry, that builds up trust. So all of those things, just pushing each other, holding up to the standard that we've had of hard work and discipline. Just you got a lot of new guys on our team, it's a lot of changes. So trying to keep that same mindset in the building, keep that same hunger. You know what I'm saying? Because it's still got some young guys that haven't played yet. They got to step up and have a big role. So really all of that, just trying to bring everybody together and get the best version of everybody. That's my goal.
DG?
Firstly, can I hold something? That's firstly. You don't gotta answer right now. Just think about it. But how's it been seeing the different guys that are coming and hearing? I'm sure you've heard some of the things they've said about you. Obviously, how hard you've worked, right? So you know how good you've become. And obviously you have continued to work harder to get better and better. And you have a long way to go, I could say. But when you get guys that some guys are older than you and some same age that are looking at your game and kind of trying to see, and a lot of, like we just talked with Aamir Hall, and he's like, yeah, I watch his game and I want to go see how he's getting like this, right? I want to see how his game is so tight. How does that make you feel when your contemporaries, right, your peers are speaking so glowingly of all the hard work you put in?
I mean, I love it. I feel like I'm naturally a guy that loves to get other people better around them. So I mean, them coming in with that mindset is a good thing for me, because all I really want them to do is be open when they come in, not being people that feel like they know it all. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm ready to get to work with them. I mean, anything they need, they want to get in on my process and what I do, I'm open to that. And I feel like that's gonna build our chemistry and bring us together. So, I mean, that was really my plan all offseason. I was telling them, I mean, we gonna work if you come. So, I mean, I love it. I love that mindset that they got.
So when you get a new receiver, right? Because obviously you're a defensive back, And every new receiver that comes takes away your opportunity to play receiver, but that's neither here nor there.
Man, tell me about it.
But when you get a new receiver, do you ever think of like, hey, I want to see what he got, right? I want to get a chance to test the waters to see what type of player he really is, right? So I can have him earn my respect and vice versa. Do you ever feel that and want to attack a receiver that's new coming in the program just to see where he stands?
I mean, definitely. I feel like that's what any receiver you face. You know, you gotta feel them out and get to know what type of player they are and see if they really what the hype is about. That's what everybody, you know. So
yeah,
I mean, that's something that I definitely think about every time I go against a receiver.
And I'm sure you pissed because they taking your reps away. You trying to, you know what I mean? We trying to go Chuck Wood, get some catches down the field, touchdowns, and they taking that away from you. You know.
Wait, I mean, are they really taking it away, or might you get a couple reps, man? Are you campaigning?
All I need is a few plays, man. Just get me out there. That's all I need.
Hey, I'm just telling you, I called his games at Grosse Pointe, and he would get down on offense. Now he would do his thing on offense. They give him jet sweeps. He play a little quarterback. He was playing a outside wide receiver, all those different things. So I mean, it's in there somewhere.
My teammates know. Yeah, my teammates know. They know I got it in me.
So I got a couple for you before you let you go, so you can get back to your thing. So, any of these guys, were you familiar with any of them or their game, other than Amarion, of course?
Right.
But were you familiar with any of these portal guys before you started talking to them to try to get them to come to Michigan?
Not much. I mean, I talked to Wes when he came and visited, but besides that, no, I didn't know too much about him.
Yeah, so I'm curious as you look at
Sam, you got to know, Will is my teammate guy. I'm not worried about other people's teammates. Now, when you become my teammate, now you my teammate. I'm not checking for what everybody else got going on.
Right, I understand. And so now I want to talk about how all the pieces fit. Right, so you get under the umbrella of your new position coach. And I'm curious, without saying one is better than another. This is not putting you in a spot like that, saying this style, this coach is better than that coach. But I wonder how it's different. Like, tell me from being coached by Coach Klink, compare that to being coached by Coach Morgan, what your experience was so far. How is it different? How is it the same kind of compare to coaching style?
I'm gonna just start off by saying I love Coach Klink. He did a lot of great things for me. He saved me in not putting me in a lot of bad situations, my injury and just having the best interest in me while I was here or while he was here. But I mean, they got two different styles. I mean, Coach Klink's a little more hard on you, a little more demanding. You know what I'm saying? Just he's always in your ear kind of coach. Coach Lamar, he's a little more. He lets you do your thing. You know what I'm saying? He coaches you. They're really like the complete opposite. Coach Klink is very loving and doing things like that, but I'll say Coach Morgan is more like gives you a lot more reassurance and things like that. But I mean, both styles are great. Like I'm the type of guy, and my dad's been hard on me my whole life when I'm getting coached. So I like that Coach Klink type of style. But I mean, I like Coach Morgan's type of style too. So it's really just two different
that's cool for. Man, I need a break from all this hard coaching, man. Love, man. Come on, man. Show me some love, man. I'm a pro now. Show me some love.
Nah, man.
Hey, man, these dudes just be like, hey, man, dude say something to you, and you be looking around, hey, man, what did he just say to me? Like, Rod.
Hey, Coach Klink act like me, Sam. Yeah, he crazy.
Speaking of Rod, man, how's Rod doing?
He's doing good. He's out there in Cali, still rehabbing and things like that. But he said it was a successful surgery and everything's good, just one day at a time.
And then schematically, it's the same scheme, but it's a different guy pushing the ones and twos, spinning the ones and twos with Coach Martindale. Without getting specific, just generally speaking, how do you think his style, if at all, differs from your last two defensive coordinators? That's crazy that your last defensive coordinator and Coach Coach Jesse. Did we lose you, Will? I wanted you to compare the style that you've noticed from Coach Martindale to what you had with Coach Mentor the last couple of years. I think we lost you.
I would say, I built up a crazy trust with Coach. Am I still back?
Yeah, you back.
I'm back.
Yeah. You good?
All right. Cool. All right, am I good now?
Yep.
Good. All right, I was saying I built up a very good chemistry with Coach Minner and a lot of trust. So I think about that defense, like we all were on the same page. We all knew what was going on, and we were all really dialed into what he wanted and what the game plan was, and I feel like everything was one. So I feel like with Coach Martindale, it's just really getting back to that. You know what I'm saying? He's got his own style. It's the same defense, but obviously he has his own way of running it. You know what I'm saying? Way of calling it. So it's getting on the same page of the things we excel at as the players on our team. You know what I'm saying? Knowing our personnel, knowing what type of things he likes. It's really just gonna have to be a lot of communication. You know what I'm saying? He's a little more aggressive. I mean, I think in the spring he kind of just wanted to see what we can do. You know what I'm saying? Because he already know what, based off the film, what Coach Minner was able to do with us. So just seeing what we could do in the spring, and then just bringing it all together. I'm excited to see how it goes. But I think it's gonna be fun to see, fun to play for.
All right, we want to highlight your camp again. As Ben, if you can get while you get the graphic up on the camp one more time, Will, while he's getting that together, just tell us a little bit about two of your young teammates that are going to be center stage this year, probably, in Jyaire Hill and Zeke Berry. What did you see from them this spring? And tell the folks who only saw them in the spring game what you saw as a veteran, what you see in their games.
Yeah, they balled out. I mean, I'll start off with Zeke. He had a tremendous spring. I mean, even Coach Wink said he can be an All-American this year if everything keeps going how it has been. So I'm really excited to see how his all comes together. And then Jyaire too. I mean, he made that next step that he needed to take going into this off season. So I mean, he's got to stay down, work. You know what I'm saying? Do all the hard work he needs to put in this off season and be committed to it. And he'll be where he needs to be. So I'm excited to see it.
All right, folks, you see it on the screen right now for folks listening. Will Johnson's youth camp next Thursday, 4:30 to 6:30. That's May 30th, 4:30 to 6:30 at Wayne State. $50 camp fee. So go to his website. You can get signed up for that camp. Still opportunities, still sponsorship opportunities as well. Sponsorship packages for folks who want to support the camp, support the youngsters, support the team, his teammates who are coming out to work the camp. NIL opportunity as far as that's concerned. So this is one of those ways people want to know, how can I help NIL wise? Supporting camps like Will's is a great way to do that. Support the team, support the youth, support the D. You can wrap it all up into one if you support Will Johnson's youth camp, man. Can't wait to get out there, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Can't wait to see you guys there.
All right, man. We appreciate you, man. Go get some rest. We'll see you next week.
Hey, wait, before you go, one thing, Will, man. I'm from Texas, and we got a saying everywhere outside of Austin, beat Texas, all right? That's all I wanted to tell you during this interview. I'm a Texas guy. I'm from Dallas.
Yes, sir.
I can't go home if y'all don't beat Texas, bro. Beat Texas.
Hey, beat everybody. How about that? Beat everybody. All right, Will. Hey, man, appreciate you, man. We'll see you next week.
All right, see you guys.
All right, that was Mr. Will Johnson, national champ, MVP. And, you know, one of the things that stuck out to me, so there was a point that I heard about. So they're early in spring ball. And, you know, there's a way that these dudes prepared the last few seasons, right? Where it's, you know, they grind. They're in the building early. They're in there late. They're watching film on their own time. And the older dudes start to feel like the younger dudes were just expecting, because all they've done is win. Like you think about that. All the young dudes who've coming into this program the last couple of years, they've been to the playoffs. It's like, you just think that's how
collect rings and gear and NIL. That's all they've done.
Hey, man, they said the vets like riding them caught a team meet, a players only meeting. We can put it out there. Spring's over. Caught a players only meeting and told these young dudes, hey, man, there's a way we get at this, and y'all ain't getting at it the way we got to get at it. So trust and believe that y'all ain't about to y'all ain't about to do what y'all. I'm just relaying to you the way that the story was relayed to me. Y'all been in the locker room, so you can talk
I
about
built this. in so many words.
Right. How y'all players talk to other players? Like, hey man, hey, y'all ain't about to come up in here, not living up to the standard that we've set. Like, there's a way to prepare to do what we've done the last couple of years, and y'all need to step it up. And so you appreciate it. And you know what hit me hard, what hit me in the heart was, man, Rob was one of the ones leading the way on that. And then it was like right after that was when he got hurt. It was like right after that. Like, damn. So I'm gonna get with Rod, try to get with Rod when he gets back and get him on behind the uniform so we can get an update on what he's thinking, because he has an interesting decision ahead of him about what to do. I mean, there's the thought process that says, you try to get back and play, but that's a really aggressive approach. I could also see him spending the whole year out rehabbing, and then you got a decision to make. Do you just go right into the draft, which I'm sure there will be some people advise him to do that, and then you got others who would say come back for your 5th year. So there's a lot to be determined with Rob. But what you know about him is he, even if it's from the sideline, that dude's gonna be leading. So they got a great mix. The veteran mix on this team is outstanding, and you got a guy like Will really setting the standard. Like those DB workouts that his dad works him out still. Deion still works him out, and so Will start opening it up to all the DBs. Like, hey man, I'm coming up here getting some work. Y'all come up here and get some work too. Or he gets a DB coach. People are watching DB. Who is this working Will and them out? Oh, Will set that up. That was his workout. And then he brought guys along with him to work out. That's what you call a championship culture, a championship atmosphere, fellas. Y'all can speak to that as players.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, Sam, that's real cool to me, and every young quarterback that I've worked with. That's the one thing, especially when they start to go on to college. But I try to start them even in little league and obviously high school, and then transfer on to college. When I was working, and before I was a starter and whatever, and even when I didn't bring people along nearly enough. I was the guy that went in late when nobody was there, because it was always a fear of mine, which right, wrong, or indifferent. It was kind of a fear of mine for people to look at me as the guy that's trying to pretend to put in work. Kind of like how most kids are now on social media, right? Where I'm working, but I'm only working so that you see me working. You know what I mean? Right? I would go in late night, and this is so funny. That's how I met Desmond Howard, right? He just happened to be at the building, and I'm in there 8 or 9 o'clock at night, setting up tires, throwing in the tires, doing all kind of stuff. And that was just my mentality of how I worked. I did it in high school, didn't bring people along nearly enough as I should, and maybe we win a couple of them state championships that we lost if I did. And so, with my youth kids and all that, I try to have them avoid all the things that I just kind of didn't do right, even though I did a lot of stuff right. So that's one of the biggest things is bring guys along. It's the greatest team sport. This isn't tennis. This isn't track. This isn't even basketball when you got a guy that can really go get a bucket, right? This is the greatest team sport, and you need the other 11 to do their job for you to even be successful, especially as a quarterback. And Will kind of alluded to that fact also as a defensive back. If they're not getting pressure on the quarterback, you got to cover all day. That ain't conducive to success, right? If you got guys on the other side that can't stop a nosebleed and receivers are killing them, you ain't gonna get no targets. Anybody gonna throw at you, right? They're gonna keep on attacking that other guy, right? And so you can't have the success you want as a team. And so that's my biggest thing for not only kids I work with, but young guys. If you're a worker, I'm talking about a hard worker, an alpha, a dog, bring your teammates along. Don't do it all by yourself. Bring your teammates along, and you'll be much better. You'll have a much better career. Your team will be much better for it. And obviously your teammates will be much better for it.
Yeah, they are maintaining the culture. Man, that's something that Will said the older guys did for him when he got here. So it's like, okay, you got to keep it going. You got to keep paying that back and forward at the same time. So yeah, man, it's good to see. We can't we can't get to Cancun like the young fellas, but there's so many things to do right here without having to travel abroad. You can have a great experience right here in Washtenaw County. It is time to get to.
So hold on. The best thing I did when I was in college was, remember that Oasis place with the hot tubs where they give you the atmosphere? Yeah, you remember that? That's the best thing I did. I pretended to be somewhere else, but it was just a hot tub on State Street. It wasn't nothing crazy. But go ahead. Sorry.
Well, listen, there are plenty of things right around here in Washtenaw County for you to do. We're going to show you some of them in this I Love Ann Arbor segment. Ben, would you please drop that track? Brought to you, this show is brought to you by our friends at Destination Ann Arbor. They wanted to open the doors to Washtenaw County to all the things to see and do, places to eat, places to stay. They're gonna bring back more of the My Ann Arbor series. Will was the first one to go around with. We're gonna get up with Coast and Loveland here shortly. They're gonna branch out into other sports NIL opportunity using student athletes as tour guides. We obviously took you guys on a little tour ourselves, the Droppin Dimes crew. And then what we also do here on this segment is feature some of those places that we've been to in the series and some of those places that we're going to go to. So I've been telling Devin and Daniel and all you guys that, hey, man, a couple years ago, got into biking a little bit. That's who got me into biking. It's like, man, that sounds like something cool to try. Desmond rides his bike like 50 miles. I'm not riding 50 miles. And my man Singletary bikes a lot too. Singletary lost like 50 pounds biking. I was like, you know what?
Singletary's super skinny.
Yeah, I was like, let me get into biking a little bit. So I bought the whole family bikes, and we go over to this.
Like that flex, Dan. You hear him? Bought the whole family bikes and a little.
That ain't even no flex. That's not a flex.
Bought the whole family bikes. You know what I mean?
Hey man, that's being health conscious.
Charge it to the game. Just bought the whole family bikes.
That's being. Hey man, what I didn't know? Like, people do bikes like they do cars. Like this, it's like bike
skates too. Skates too. You gotta take care of it. You gotta make sure you get it tuned up, all that. Yeah.
Like, you gotta get special brakes and special wheels and special pedals.
In case y'all don't know, he driving the price up on them family bikes. So he spent a little bread on them bikes, but it wasn't nothing to Sam though.
Hey man,
two straps, Sam. He been wearing his 2 straps, so his back, his neck, all feeling better.
Hey man,
it ain't nothing to Sam.
Hey man, as a kid, you tuning up your bike was just popping the chain back on. These dudes take all the wheels off, they take all the brakes off, and I was like, oh my God, give you special brakes so get your bike tuned up all the time. We get our bikes tuned up every year, and then we go out to Rolling Hills Park here in Ypsi. But there is a park system throughout Washtenaw County. So Ben, if you could bring up, over on the Destination Ann Arbor Instagram page, they put out one on Hudson Mills Metro Park, the bike trail through there, which is like 15 miles round trip, which is outstanding. So we're going to try that one out. Ben, if you could put that one on the screen for me, where it throughout Washtenaw County, the park system is amazing. So scenic, picturesque, paved. And then they're doing the border-to-border trail where you can go from one end of Washtenaw County all the way to the other end, going through the park system as well.
Go back to that bridge. That bridge didn't. No, sir.
What's wrong with the bridge?
What's going on with that bridge, man?
You go under the bridge.
Sam, can you give me an electric bike?
And that defeats the purpose. And then some of these parks, I don't know if Hudson Mills Metro Park has this like Rolling Hills does. They have the off-road trails too. So if you want to, go up hills and around bends and, all that terrain, you want to ride through some terrain, you can do that at Rolling Hills as well. So something for everyone when it comes to outdoors here in Washtenaw County. The park system is amazing. But if you don't want to get out to the parks, you don't want to do all the biking. By the way, Rolling Hills has the water park there as well with the water slides. But if you don't want to do that,
want to buy me a bike, electric bike, please. But go ahead, Sam. Sorry.
They also have events. So we were telling you last week about the Jazz Festival over on Ford Lake. Well, coming up next month, the Ann Arbor Summer Festival is back. And it is a It's an annual event here in Ann Arbor. I was asking Devin about it. He said, I ain't never been to the Ann Arbor Summer Festival. Well, listen, folks, go to a2sf.org for the schedule, a2sf.org for the Ann Arbor Summer Festival. You know, you got all their concerts and all kinds of community events. And on the stage over by Rackham on June 14th, there's a local artist that's going to be performing. And Ben, if you can bring that up, there's a local artist named Kenyatta Rashawn that's going to be performing June 14th at the Ann Arbor Summer Festival. And they were over on the Destination Ann Arbor Instagram page. They were highlighting her getting ready with the Ann Arbor Summer Festival band. And so, you know, hey, man, everything is on Instagram these days, right? So they actually showed some of the practice going on. So this was her getting ready. We don't have the audio.
And she can sing, y'all. She can sing, boy. You know, I did my research, Sam. I did my research. She can sing that. She can sing, boy.
You did your research. Well,
yeah, yep. She's classic. So she's real classic.
She's a bit of an old soul, so I had to pull her up a little bit. So, Ben, we're gonna have to take this. You're gonna have to edit this part out of the video, because anytime you put music in the thing, YouTube starts jumping all over you. But we live, so they can't stop us live. We can throw a little bit of live music in there. Just make sure you take it out on replay. So I'm gonna add that to the stage right now. Give me a little full screen.
I don't think we can hear it, Sam. I don't think.
You can hear it? Oh, you can't hear that?
No, none of us can hear it.
That's
you gotta be kidding me. Oh, man,
hey, I'm sitting there like, I don't know if we can hear it, but I'll wait on somebody in the chat to say they can't hear it.
That's killing me.
ABG, that's that Pootie Tang special right there.
Oh, yeah, that's Pootie Tang for sure.
They killing me.
Number one hit.
They killing me. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make it so they can't stop us. Here we go. I'm gonna share it this way. And then this way, I know you can hear it.
Hey, but judging by the movements, it was fire. I'm just telling you.
I thought I was listening to Pootie Tang for a bit.
All right, let's play it.
Hey,
give me hey, put the boxes up so I can see y'all. So y'all give me a thumbs up if you can hear it. So put the boxes up, Ben. Can you take us off full screen real quick? All right. So if you can hear this, give me the thumbs up. Oh, so
I might have to come check her out. I might have to come check her out because
you got to go check her out.
Is it gonna be on the lawn? Like, what type of vibe is it, Sam? What type of vibe?
Man, she's gonna be on the Rackham stage, man. It's gonna be. This is the Ann Arbor Summer Festival.
Can you get me backstage passes, Sam? What kind of pool do you got?
You know what? We will talk to our friends at Destination Ann Arbor and see if we can get you some passes. Now, you know, a lot of the events at Ann Arbor Summer Festival are free. Some of them have some, you know, make some donations to.
Donation. Don't be getting on me. I thought it was trash.
So there you go. Top of the park day. So you see the stage. You see it right there in front of Rackham on the Rackham stage right there, man. Outdoor vibe is great. Kenyatta Rashawn is from Ypsi. She's an Ypsilanti native. She's sung with everybody from Kanye West to who else she performed with. It was a few different performers but I know she performed with Kanye West.
Sam, just looking at her stuff and hearing. This feels like that opportunity that you get to see that star that becomes that star, but you see them right before it really pops and they become the huge star where you can't reach them no more. The prices then went up. This is that opportunity to go see like the future, that soulful singer before she get too big for us. So we got to take this opportunity, guys. Everybody in the chat, we have to take this opportunity to get in there and see this before she becomes too big. And now we're going to have to go to Little Caesars Arena. The ticket's going to be excessive. You know how it be.
Can you put the Ann Arbor Summer Festival calendar back up, Ben, please, so folks can see it? You got the 14th through the what is it? Going all the way over the course of through the 30th. I think it's the 14th through the 30th. But there's a full calendar of events, something going on all the time, every day. And so you just got to look at the calendar. There's something for everyone, a different vibe, a different kind of concert, different events that are going on, kids zone events going on. For instance, you can meet AFC Ann Arbor out there. Ann Arbor Summer Festival, always a ton of fun, a staple in this community. So when I say there are things to do right around here at Washtenaw County, right around Washtenaw County. There are plenty of things to do. Your tour guides to all of those things. Destination Ann Arbor. And let's say that you need it, like you don't want to worry about parking. You just want to get dropped off and picked up.
You know where to go, baby.
You know where to go. That's where our friends at Golden Limo handle all that business. I was like, man, I need to have Golden Limo take me down to Wheels Camp, right? Because the Sound Mind, Sound Body Showcase is 2 days. All the coaches from all over the country gonna be there, right? Is the traffic and parking is gonna be so I'm thinking about doing that.
Hey, you gonna pick me up on the way, or?
Yeah, we might be able to work that out. I was just talking to them, so I guess we could swing through Southfield. But I know one of the things that they're doing for folks who want to go down to Tiger games, like they have a Tiger game package where you call up Golden Limo. It's like I just need to be dropped off and picked up because I want to have a few drinks and not have to worry about getting home and that kind of thing. Destination Ann Arbor. A Golden Limo. They are, when it comes to transportation service, second to absolutely none. I mentioned last week that my sister-in-law will be traveling abroad for business over in Paris, France. Who do you think handle her ground transportation overseas? Golden Limo. So anytime, whether it's airport transport, event transport, you need everything from a tour bus to a party bus. Any of your ground transportation needs can be met by our friends at Golden Limo. And throughout the summer, Tigers, they're scrapping along. You want to make it?
I don't care what nobody say. I think they're like one game over 500 or maybe 500. This is good. Get to the games. I don't know how long it's gonna last, man.
Right. Well, hey, man, the pitching seems like it's gonna last. They just can't hit it. They can't hit their weight, man. And so, but the games, it is a product you want to get down there and see. So much to do in downtown Detroit as well. The transportation service with Golden Limo is great for that also. And coming up during the season, we're going to be telling you ways for folks who are coming to town for the Texas game, right? Coming to town for all these big games. And you need transportation service. I'm talking to my friends at Golden Limo about let's hook the folks up. Let's hook the Droppin Dimes crew up. If they, go through Dimes, they got a way to get a little bit of a discount getting on Golden Limo. We'll work that out for the season, and we'll keep you posted on that. But any of your ground transportation needs can be met.
Hey, Steve Horn, man, mind your business, man. Talking about two straps better, roll the windows down with DG in the limo. Hey, man, mind your business, man. Hey, don't do that. Don't do that.
Hey, you got
GoldenLimo.com, folks. GoldenLimo.com for all of your ground transportation service. Your transportation, your destination is only a ride away. Book them with Golden Limo at GoldenLimo.com. That is going to do it for us. Man, Steve has not missed the episode. Like, you look at people in the chat.
Don't do that, Steve. If we got company in this chat, it might be new people here. You put me out there like that.
Come on, see, Daniel hate. It's more than the Lions and the Wolverines, man. Hey, the Tigers getting it in. So appreciate all you in the chat. The chat is live tonight, so we appreciate that as well. We'll see you next week. And next week, I think we're gonna have to push it out a week because we got the Sound Mind, Sound Body camp, and we got Wheels camp, so we can't do it Thursday, right? So we'll push Droppin Dimes. Won't be next week. It'll be the week after, and that'll be the last episode of the summer, and then we'll come back in the fall for the fall run of Droppin Dimes. I want to let you know, we talked to our friends at Destination Ann Arbor. We talked to our friends at Golden Limo about Droppin Dimes. They said we back up. We back up for next season, for season 2 of Droppin Dimes. We back up. So thank you for all the support, and we'll see you for the final episode of the summer. Not next week, but the week after. So be sure to tune in. We'll bring on some guests. We'll have a good time, and we'll get you ready for the fall run of Steady Droppin Dimes for all of your needs throughout Washtenaw County. Places to go, places to stay, places to eat, events coming to town, Destination Ann Arbor. Check it out, that QR code right there. Scan it. Go to their website at annarbor.org. That'll take you on the link not only to places to stay and eat and all those events, but also the Ann Arbor Summer Festival with the calendar of events going on over there next month. Until a couple of weeks from now, thanks for watching another edition of Steady Droppin Dimes.